Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So on this go around, we're going to do a Q&A that I posted on my socials. So let's get into it. I'm going to start on Facebook. The first question comes from Zach from Collecting Weekly. So he asked, what is your favorite and least favorite part of streaming / content creating? So my favorite part is that I get to do this with Rachel. I say this a lot. We make date nights out of it. I love this hobby. I'll forever do this hobby and be a part of it. But she just enhances it. I enjoy unboxing with her and open up the figures and watching the movies and getting the posing down. And my next favorite part is streaming with friends. That's for sure up there. I like actually, commenting and replying to messages is fun, but actually getting to live stream with my friends, Joey, Danny, Steve, or anybody else, that's up there for me. Mike Costa asks, what's your Fran time? And then max bench press and deadlift. So I had to ask what Fran time was. That's a CrossFit thing. I don't do CrossFit. I'm definitely not athletic enough, but it's just that's not how I really work out. Max bench press, I haven't maxed out on a very long time, but the most I did was 295 for one. RPE like 8 or 9, it was relatively heavy for me. I've actually never maxed out on deadlift either. My good buddy Matt Cox, he asked, also, Matt, he has a YouTube channel. He just hit 1,000 subs, and he's local. Love the guy. Awesome collection. What got you into the hobby? What got you into collecting to begin with, or into the hobby? Well, I got into this because I absolutely love movies. I'm a big movie buff, and because I love movies so much, I just want to be surrounded by those movies and those characters that just bring me a lot of joy. It also all started with one Funko Pop, and then I just went down that one rabbit hole. Joe Libner, Facebook. Joe's amazing, great guy. He says, I love how positive you are, man. A kind dude who's easy to relate to. I'm always rooting for you, brother. Thanks, man. Same to you. I always enjoy our conversations. Now let's go to Instagram. So, my good friend Tyria, or Dennis, I actually got to meet him in London, which was a real treasure for me. Now, because I love talking to everybody on social media and whatnot, that's fun, but actually getting to meet people in person and just having those conversations and getting that good feel, that's the best part for me. He says, how are you such a lovely human being? Love you too, man. What's one horror figure you wish Hot Toys or InArt would make? That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. You know what? I'm really indecisive. The one thing that's coming to mind. Also, I tried not looking at these questions beforehand. I didn't want to rehearse anything. I just wanted it to be fairly organic and for it to come off the top of my head. Now, there's a couple horror movies. They're pretty low key. They don't get talked about a whole lot. Called The Collector and The Collection. Now, if I could have a collector in my collection, that would be amazing. Or John Kramer from Jigsaw. Him in his robe / him in the robe, or one other character in the pig mask. That'd be fantastic. Harris Family Hobbies. He's pretty local to me, about 3 hours away. Fantastic guy. What's the first 1/6 scale figure you ever bought? And when did you know there was no coming back? First 6 scale figure I bought was that Freddy Krueger right there. Freddy from Wes Craven's New Nightmare. When did I know there was no coming back? Probably a couple to a few months right after that. I just realized the shelf presence of these just beats the 6-inch 1/12 scale collectibles I was collecting. Miami Z Nemesis Chris, he asks, what happens to your collection if you die? Will it be passed on or sold? Morbid, but honestly, it's a very fair question. I really don't know. I would hope that my loved ones get to profit from this. There's a little bit here. I'd hope for them to collect a little bit of that money. I also wouldn't mind that some of these pieces go to some of my close friends. So ideally that. Yeah, I just want my loved ones to be able to profit from it. I wouldn't expect Rachel or my family to keep everything that I have in here, right? That's not realistic. Maybe a couple pieces to remember me by, but if some of my friends can benefit from this, and if some of my family can sell off some of this and fund whatever they want, that would bring me joy. For one, I'm not here, so I'm not gonna care. Evil Sneaker, Steve, one of the guys I stream with weekly. He's fantastic. He also has a YouTube channel. It's amazing. He does great content, really good content on there. He asks, what made you finally take the plunge and start on YouTube? Well, I think it's been not the most ideal start. I haven't been as consistent as I wanted. This is a lot harder than I thought it would be. But what made me take the plunge? Honestly, Rachel's a big part of that. She made me feel very confident in doing this. I was pretty terrified about the whole editing process. So she actually made me my first video. And when she made me that first video, I kind of had that promise that I was going to continue this, But also, when I went to London to Star Wars Celebration, Shane and Lael, man, they were both so kind, and they really did kind of boost my confidence in doing this. So I say this behind closed doors and as publicly as I can. They're two great guys that I owe a lot to. Sims Collectibles, good buddy from Australia. What's been your biggest learning curve in collecting? He asked a couple questions, but let's start with that one. What's been your biggest learning curve in collecting? There's been a lot. I think anybody who's been doing this for a duration of time, whether that be a few months or a few years, there's a lot to learn. For me, I think the biggest one is I really enjoy everything I've bought. Now, I wish I would have been a bit more strategic in what I did buy. For example, there's maybe 10 things just over here, 10 or 15 things that I would get rid of to get 3 of my quote unquote grails, So I really wish I would have had a bit more of a strategy when going about it. I definitely don't regret anything. I love everything that I have in here, but that's probably one. I'm a pretty sporadic person. If I see something and I like it, I'm gonna get it. Next question. Do you get caught up in the hype for some figures you wouldn't have necessarily cared about? I'm sure. I'm sure I have. Nothing comes to me at the top of my head. But once again, I hate saying this, anybody who's done this for a duration of time, they probably have done that to themselves. The hype for a movie, seeing reviews online, seeing pictures posted, that does build up some hype, and you start wondering, should I have that? Will that look good in my collection? And I don't think I do that anymore. I've learned a lot. I think that's what we all need to do is just learn from some of these past mistakes and then, do better going forward. The Nerd Closet, another fantastic guy. Has pricing for your collection increased as it has in 6-inch lines? If so, has it affected your collecting habits or enjoyment of the hobby? Yeah, I think pricing all across the board has gone up, regardless of what you collect. Not even just pricing, but the quantity of available figures out there has gone up as well. It hasn't really affected me. I still buy the things that I love, Granted, it does kind of go back to what I said earlier about I am being a bit more strategic in what I do purchase. The Real Rojas. How do you set up your display, especially the weight of the D-tops on top of the Bestas? Now, I actually didn't take into account any weight factors or any of that. I was kind of going off of the anecdotal evidence that dozens, if not hundreds, of collectors have had this setup. Especially some of my close friends, they've had this setup for years, and it's worked out for them. So they kind of did all the background work and legwork for me. Okay, going to YouTube now. Good old Spotchka. That's Danny, one of my really good buddies. I'm actually going to see him and Collector Joey in September. So Danny's going to fly to my house, and we're going to hang out. He's going to see the collection. We're going to film some content, and then him and I are going to drive to Joey's house, and once again, meet up with him, see his collection, and hang out. You know, we stream together every week, and we talk every single day. But actually getting to see each other in person and actually be there in the moment, I'm really, really looking forward to that. So he asks, if you had to add a companion with Darth Maul, what other 1/1 scale statues would you want? That's a hard one. That's a really hard one. There's a lot of wants that I have. Two things off the top of my head. I would absolutely love a life-size Darth Vader statue. Next. This may be a little boring, but I also want a life-size Stormtrooper. He may not be the most dynamic character, or a Stormtrooper may not be the most dynamic character, but it's pretty quintessential to the original trilogy. And when I see that, I just think Star Wars, and makes me happy. And I'm sure there's gonna be more. I've tried purchasing a couple of life-size Batman statues. Those didn't work out, but having a Batman in my collection wouldn't be too shabby. And then last, Brick Artemis, another great guy. He's blown up on YouTube. He also has a really great Instagram. His collection is growing. He does Legos and Hot Toys. Awesome mix. He asks, common question here. Top 5 figures in your collection. Now, I think I mentioned this already. I'm pretty indecisive, so it's a little hard, but okay, I think I got it. First one's going to be, maybe in no particular order, my life-size Darth Maul, my 78 Michael Myers from Sideshow, this may be funny because it's not a hot toy, my first Funko Pop. And this was the first collectible I ever bought. And it's Robin as Red X from Teen Titans. And then, you know what? I just got this one in. So I may be hyping this one up for myself. Because, you know, sometimes when you get that new figure, that's kind of what's catching your eye. And that's kind of what's catching my eye right now. We opened this up a couple nights ago. Or last night. I think it was yesterday. Sam from Trick or Treat. That'll be my number 5. But that's kind of it for questions on this go around. I think I'll be doing this once a month or so. We'll see. This was a lot of fun. Now, hopefully, I don't know about the whole editing process. That's something I'm still getting used to. I don't know if I'll be able to edit it and have actually like the questions down below. I hope so. That'd be awesome. But if I can't figure that out, hopefully me reading them off was good enough. But for those of you still sticking around and listening to me ramble on, thank you so much. For those of you who have subscribed to me, thank you so much. It means a lot. I'm going to be a lot more consistent. So thank you. I'm hopefully going to be able to do some unboxings here soon. I want to do some movie reviews. That's a really big one for me. I love me some movies. And then some more vlogs. I get to travel quite a bit, and maybe doing some vlogs will actually kind of force me to go in store and actually look at the NECA section, go look at some Marvel Legends, some things I just don't do anymore. And I enjoy that. That used to bring me a lot of joy in the past, the whole toy hunting thing. And yeah, I had fun with my first vlog on this channel. So comment below what you would like to see in the future going forward. And until next time, thank you so much.